like making your debut and going out there from the crowd for the first time? How was it for you for that whole experience?
That was a lot of fun. It was at a carnival, so it wasn't like a wrestling crowd. So I guess that was
Mm,
one of the benefits I had. You weren't going to have your diehard wrestling fans that were going to expect a 5-star match. It was just families that were there for the carnival. They knew matches were coming out, so they all gathered around the ring. Um, so I knew we could literally just do anything we want, and it would be fun, and the crowd would react. They did. They reacted to everything. A little fun fact, though, my very first match was a tag match. We went 50 minutes.
oh,
So that was
wow.
crazy. It was actually, I'm actually visiting my wife's parents' house right now in the city of Maywood. It was in the city of Maywood, which is funny. My very first match was in the city of Maywood out here in California. And so it was very lucha Hispanic, crowd.
Mm.
But me and the guys that wrestled, we had no idea our match was a 2 out of 3 falls. So we went
Oh,
like 35 minutes the first fall, not knowing. And we were celebrating the victory. They, announced winner of the first fall. And we all kind of looked at each other like, what does he mean first fall? We had to go 2 more matches or 2 more falls on the spot too, on the fly. So that was nerve-wracking for me. Being my very first match, I had to keep going, not knowing what was coming next, not knowing who was taking the next fall, what fall was happening after that. We had to call everything on the fly. But that's one thing my trainers, especially the Ballards, is good at, is making us do matches on the fly. Because
Mhm.
like I've been in so many situations on the indies where matches are changed last minute. Like you saw in Hemet, hey, we're throwing Jack Cartwheel in there. Like
Yeah.
you just got to go with the flow, and you can't. Obviously, you got to have a game plan of what you're going to do in the match, but you also got to just learn to go with it.
Hmm.
And sometimes the crowd will change things as well.
Hmm.
And do you prefer that style just on the fly? Like there's some wrestlers that like to lay it out each spot before in the ring, or or do you just like to call it during the match?
I like to call it. I like to
Yeah.
call it because, again, I feel like the fans could easily dictate where the match is going. I'll give you an example. I remember I wrestled Peter Avalon one time
Hmm.
in a match, and he was obviously, heel. He's one of the greatest heels out there. And
Yeah.
I was a baby face. And for some reason, we get out there, and I'm bumping him around. The crowd's booing me like crazy. We were in a new town, I remember, so people didn't know who we were, but for some reason, they were reacting great to Peter Avalon, just booing the heck out of me. And I were just grabbing a hold on him and saying, we got to switch things up. Like, you need to start, outshining me and let me work heel and beat you down and get the crowd to hate me. We got to do it on the fly. But I feel like in situations you need to learn. You need that. And I would rather just go out there and just, have the ending. If someone wants to do a big spot, anything off the top rope, know that in advance. I feel like stuff like that you can't call on the fly. Like, hey, let me give you a brain buster from the top rope. That's something that needs to be
Yeah.
talked about in the back. But,
Mhm.
starting off the match, doing certain things in the heat or your shine, it should be called in the ring. I feel like most guys need to learn that it's something that benefits them, And again,
Mhm.
hearing that crowd reaction, if you're doing something and the crowd's not reacting, it's not working, then just stop. Don't continue going, oh, I need to do this because this is what we planned, or we had this plan next, so we need to do this spot. It's like, listen to the audience. If they're not responding, then you need to do something else. And also injuries could happen too. I mean, I was recently injured in a match, but luckily it was at the end of the match. So if I had
Mhm.
gotten injured mid-match or in the beginning, we would have to change everything we laid out, on the spot.